Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of TarotCelebritea with your boy Ducky. Today, we are going to be doing a friendship-related reading for Felix and Hyunjin from Stray Kids, which is a South Korean boy group. For those who may not be familiar, um, remember to keep in mind that these videos are for entertainment purposes. And why is that, you may ask? Well, that is because we do not have Felix, nor do we have Hyunjin here to confirm, nor deny that what I'm seeing in the cards, how I'm interpreting the cards, whether it resonates with them or not, we just don't know for sure. So just remember to take these videos with a grain of salt. And remember again that they are for entertainment purposes. Also, last but not least, please keep in mind that I try and pronounce everyone's names to the best of my abilities. So if I mispronounced Hyunjin or Felix's names throughout this video, please note that that is not my intention. It is never my intention to disrespect anyone whose cards I read. So without further ado, let's get started on Hyunjin and Felix's reading. So these two, whenever they are together or whenever they think about one another or talk about one another, what is their energy like? What comes up? Let's see. We got the Ace of Shields, the Ace of Wands in reverse. So immediately I'm thinking like they can let down their guard. There's no need. They don't have to kind of flame each other. They don't really get angry with one another. We also got the Raymond de Trincavel, which is the fourth card, which is, I believe that is the Emperor. Let's get one more card. Yeah. And we got the Five of Swords. Ooh. That's a little bit crazy in reverse. Yeah, the Emperor Raymond de Trincavel. Okay, practicing my French here. Okay, so let's start here. With the Ace of Shields in reverse, the Ace of Wands normally talks about, the beginnings of business pursuits or ambitious efforts, but because we're focusing on a love or not a love reading. Whoa, sorry. I'm used to doing some love readings and it shows. But since we're focusing on a friendship reading here, I'm seeing here that this shield, it came in reverse, so there's no really need to have a guard up whenever these two are together, whenever these two are talking with one another, which is a beautiful friendship to have, right? We all want a friend who we can confide in, where we feel like we don't have to put a wall up, we feel like we don't have to be on the defensive end, and we can just talk about anything and everything openly and not feel like it's gonna come back to attack us and we have to defend ourselves. So this is a very beautiful card. Now it's crazy that we got the Five of Swords in reverse as well as the third card. Um the Five of Swords is in reverse is telling me that maybe there is someone or maybe there are people on the outside who have tried to maybe spread some kind of gossip because the Five of Swords talk can talk about having defeated mentalities, having a self-defeating mindset. So I'm getting one of two things. The first one can be that maybe people on the outside have been a little bit jealous of these two's friendship, where they just seem like they are very much in control with this Emperor card coming in. They know who they are and who they are not independently and as friends. They can confide in one another, they can trust one another. And so maybe there have been people on the outside who have been trying to plant some seeds of negativity on either one of them, maybe spreading some gossip. But I feel like these two have overcome some gossip, some rumors that have been spread about them, and it has only strengthened their friendship, with this Emperor being the second card that popped up. The Emperor is ruled by Aries, which is a fire sign. So we got two fire cards and then one air card. And air can talk about our thoughts and our speech. So Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. Also, another thing with the Five of Swords coming in reverse for these two beautiful people is that their friendship that has really helped ease some self-defeating thoughts that maybe they have had in the past. Maybe in the past they have been wronged, maybe they have been burned by friendships, but not in this friendship scenario. These two, I feel like they have really strengthened their mentality. They have really learned how to trust one another and think very highly of one another. So it's beautiful that this Emperor card came right side up, because the Emperor, and this being the only right side up of the three, the Emperor is the fifth card of the major arcana, which are the first 22 cards of the deck. So these two are very important people in each other's lives. And, regardless of what maybe self-defeating thoughts they may have had in the past outside of this friendship, or maybe any self-defeating thoughts or any thoughts that people have been trying to plant in their heads, or some gossip that they have been trying to spread about Felix and Hyunjin's friendship. It has it hasn't made them feel defensive at all, or feel like they had to defend one another in this friendship. They feel like they're very much in control again with this friendship. They know what this friendship is and what this friendship is not. And so any kind of outside gossip, or any kind, even if it's not outside gossip, it could just be like any kind of thoughts that they may have about things, they're able to come together and talk about them, and not be defensive about anything. There's no guard up here, which is beautiful. We all want a friendship, or at least I would like a friendship like that. Y'all, I am lonely AF, but a lot of us are kind of lonely, and it's hard for us to find beautiful friends and friendships that are very close knit, where you know where each other stands, and each other's strengths and flaws. And because you know each other's strengths and flaws, that only makes things stronger between the two of you, and you don't feel the need to have to defend each other, because y'all got each other's backs. So that's very beautiful. I love this. So let's go on with Felix's thoughts on Hyunjin. When Felix thinks of Hyunjin, what comes to his mind? We got the Six of Swords in reverse, with at the bottom of the deck the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, now Hyunjin, when he thinks of Felix, what are Hyunjin's thoughts on Felix? We got the Lord of Swords, the King of Swords, with at the bottom of the deck. We got the Wheel of Life. Wow. Okay. So I'm getting the sense that maybe because these two cards came up in reverse, maybe Hyunjin is going through a little bit of a difficult moment, and maybe this is why Felix is thinking a little bit, I don't want to say negative about Hyunjin, but with the Six of Swords coming in reverse, I feel like when Felix is currently thinking of Hyunjin, he's thinking of someone who may have lost their direction. They may not have a clear point of direction of where they want to go, because the Six of Swords normally talks about, you could even see this person looking toward at this castle, and they're heading towards this castle. But this card comes in reverse, so I feel like when Felix thinks of Hyunjin, he thinks of someone who maybe loses their way, they lose their path, they lose sights on their goals very easily. And this is magnified with the Eight of Pentacles here coming in reverse. The Eight of Pentacles talks about skill building, but because this card comes in reverse, I feel like when Felix thinks of Hyunjin, Felix thinks highly of Hyunjin's skills. He thinks that Hyunjin has so many abilities, so many beautiful skills that he can monetize from, and that can further his career. But it's just that maybe Felix thinks Hyunjin sometimes loses his direction. Maybe he gets sidetracked a little bit too easily, and that's kind of where this beautiful friendship comes into play. Because Hyunjin, on the opposite side, he thinks that Felix is very He's very optimistic. He can see the good in everything with the Wheel of Fortune or the Wheel of Life in this deck. The Wheel of Life is all about good fortune, good success, good events coming in. So I feel like when Hyunjin thinks of Felix, he thinks of someone who's just so positive, who's always able to see opportunities arise out of any situation. You can throw an obstacle at Felix, and Felix is going to overcome that obstacle because he's going to think of a way to turn something negative into something positive, which is beautiful. We all would love to do that. We all can benefit from, viewing the silver lining in anything, especially in negative situations. That this is very beneficial. So this is kind of where Hyunjin really values his friendship with Felix. Is that he sees Felix as someone who maybe when Hyunjin gets blinded by situations, he can rely on Felix to help him see things from a different perspective, see things from a positive outlook. And Hyunjin thinks that Felix is very bright. I'm not sure what Felix's role is on Stray Kids, but I'm getting the sense he's very good vocally. Maybe he's very good with his words. Maybe he's very eloquent and elegant in the way that he speaks, or maybe he raps. I'm not sure. But with the King of Swords being here, Hyunjin thinks that Felix is just very bright. And he vocalizes or he speaks in a way that's very smart. And so maybe maybe that's why Felix is here thinking that Hyunjin loses his path, and he's very forthright. I feel like Felix definitely tells Hyunjin how what he thinks about things, and Hyunjin definitely maybe sometimes he gets blinded by things, and this is Felix kind of being like, no, no, like don't get lost in the sauce, don't lose your way, keep on working. And so this is a very good friendship dynamic, where what one person lacks, the other person helps in another aspect. And I'm getting the sense that although Felix is very bright and intelligent and elegant and eloquent in the way that he speaks, maybe sometimes he has a hard time not following the book, or not going, or I guess when things don't go his way or things don't go how he was hoping for or how he thought they would. This is kind of where Hyunjin comes in, and because Hyunjin maybe is all over the place, he's like, "Hey, listen, like we've gotten this far, you've helped me, now let me help you." And I feel like Hyunjin's strength is that he helps Felix realize that sometimes being a little bit, or when things get a little bit chaotic, that's where maybe Hyunjin thrives. Maybe Hyunjin thrives a little bit more on chaos and chaotic nature, and then Felix thrives more on structure, or writing things down, or envisioning things. So this is a very beautiful friendship here that I'm seeing. Now let's go on to get some beautiful unwarranted ducky advice for these two beautiful people to finish off the video. Y'all know that I like to give y'all the tea on what I'm seeing on the cards, but ultimately we want to level up and improve our energy so we can continue advancing and accomplishing more and living more in abundance. So let's see what my unwarranted ducky advice is for these two beautiful friends. Anger. Ooh, this came right side up. So I like to read the positive aspect when there's a negative and a positive. So the positivity of anger is it helps assert rights and stand up for others. Yeah, so the advice here is um I feel like these two don't really get angry at one another, but they get angry at, again, maybe outside sources that sometimes feed negative gossip or try and feed negative thoughts into these two beautiful friends. And the advice I'm seeing is if this continues to happen, allow yourselves to get angry. Anger is such a It's such a palpable emotion. It's a strong emotion, and although it can be a negative emotion, we can transmute it into positivity, and we can use anger to fuel our fire. Anger to me is all about fire, and two of the three cards in the beginning were wand cards, or were fire related, I should say, because the Emperor and the suit of shields, aka wands. So the advice I'm seeing here for them is, if they get angry, allow themselves to get angry at situations, um, and don't waste the opportunity that anger can bring in creating. Sometimes, we waste this strong emotion by kind of being reckless or causing more damage than good. But here, the advice I'm seeing for them is to not waste away any type of feelings of anger that may arise. I don't know if maybe there's going to be a lack of opportunities for them in Stray Kids, but the Three of Wands can talk about opportunities, but this came in reverse. So there could be a lack of opportunities coming up for them. And if there is a lack of opportunities and they get angry, use this anger to transmute it into, standing up for each other, standing up for what they believe in, and creating more art. Or, yeah, just to not waste away any opportunities to use anger, this strong emotion, to create more art. Sometimes, whenever I get angry, I will sing or I will sketch. I'm trying to get more into like sketching for fashion design, even though I don't know how to sew, but maybe I will eventually, and I'll have a list of things that I can practice working on. But, anger is such a strong emotion, and it helps, again, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, it can fuel our fire, it can fuel our craft, our creativity. And so the advice I'm seeing for them is to not waste away this creative emotion, and to not let those opportunities go by whenever they notice themselves getting angry, or they get angry at a lack of opportunities, or they get angry at outside people trying to feed negative thoughts into their minds. Use that anger to write, to create beautiful art, and I think that will really help propel them into the next level. So let me know what you thought of this reading, of what you know about Felix and Hyunjin. If how I interpreted the cards, and intuitively and based off of my knowledge of the cards, if it resonates with what you know. I always love to read those types of comments. I very much could be wrong. It's always a possibility. But that is it for me. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. It always makes me feel motivated to continue making these videos for y'all. And remember to take care of yourselves mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, sexually, and financially. Love and respect yourselves and others as best as you can. And as always, stay hydrated. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see y'all hopefully on another video. Bye!